Good morning, everybody. It is Monday, April 22nd, 2024. My name is Matt, and this is your daily crypto news. Do me a favor, go to Apple Podcasts, like, subscribe, share. If you're on Spotify, click those 5 stars. And head over to our Substack. Subscribe. We have our daily news there, a summary of the news, plus behind the paywall, we have a lot of extra features and these podcasts without the ads. So at least you get some value there. The other podcast we have is I do a lot of politics podcasts. We have a new show on AM radio. Yes, AM radio out of Tampa and Atlanta, and I think in New York. So we do that, as well as we are working on a new show in crypto, and I found some partners in crime. And so we are sprucing up our Twitter. We are sprucing up the podcast. We're creating new shows. And hopefully over the next, couple months, 6 months or so, we develop this into something better. I hope. But you never know until everything comes to fruition. We will see. You can always email me at matt@dailycryptonews.net. And speaking of that, I did get a lot of emails that I did not answer yet. And the first one is from Jason Stark. Today's podcast, by the way, is answering emails and telling you what runes are, because that's one of the emails I got a couple days ago. But we'll start with Jason, and I'm going to make a statement. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? What I say after the halving. We're going to go down and to the right, down and to the right, and go sideways. I don't think that we've went up yet, even though, yes, we've been up a little bit. We're like $66,000 Bitcoin today. But does that really mean we went up? I think it's still a sideways move until we go gangbusters. But Jason wrote it in. He said, I know you remember the late nights after getting your ass kicked in a restaurant. Yes, I do. There was nothing better. There's nothing I loved more than a busy Friday or Saturday night. I hated being busy during the week, even though I love being busy. It's just that you're never prepared and you're never staffed for a real busy night. So we ran a 2 or 3 cook line on the weekdays, and on the weekends we had 5 or 6 people on the line. And so what that means is I would work the grill and the heavy saute on the weekdays, and somebody else would be on the fryer / the pasta station or the light saute, and then we would have a call. But on the weekdays, we would separate all of that out. So like fryer would have its own guy, its pasta would have its own guy, its light saute would have its own guy, heavy saute would have its own guy. I would be on the grill. There'd be a call, there'd be a plater. So we would have a lot more people. And so just prepping up for a busy weekend was always fun, and getting your butt kicked and, just pumping out really good quality food was amazing. During the week, you would pump out the food, but it might not be the best because you are swamped. And yeah, I remember that very, very well, of getting my ass kicked in the restaurant. Now, honestly, it looks like you got your ass kicked in this restaurant and then you had a couple drinks and then wrote me this email, but I love it. Jason says, I'm super late. I just had a second after checking the stats and I saw the future. I'm not Cryptodamus, but it looks like by the news, so the event is going down. Glad I stuck to my guns. Buy, stake, hodl. To all the non-believers, crypto is here whether you like it or not. This is awesome. It feels great to be part of the future of finance. Jason. Well, Jason, honestly, I don't understand your email because I don't understand if sell the news event is going down. Down means that it's failing, or actually the price is going down and you think that it is a sell the news event. I don't get it. This is one of those things that you have to do in person or be more clear in your emails. But like I said, that's why I prefaced this beforehand, is that maybe I'm wrong. It is going sideways and slightly up. We're going to see when the market opens this morning. It's not open yet. And I can't believe I just said that we'll wait till the market opens, because now we're working off of a normal stock trading market cycle. Bitcoin has not evolved in that aspect. Sad. That was a de-evolution. But we'll see. I still think we're going to go down and to the right. But again, I could be wrong. And if that's the case, we all win anyway. Next email I got was from Yoa. And Yoa said, hey Matt, I absolutely love this show. I listen to it daily while I'm planting trees. Man, that is zen. You're listening to me while you're planting trees? I love that. The last couple of days I saw a big hype online about nodes on Rune. I can't really wrap my head around it. Is it something big for the Bitcoin ecosystem? Keep up the good work. Cheers, Yoa. Well, Yoa, here you go. This is what runes are. And before I go into this, there's a couple links in the show notes that explain it a lot better. So click those, read the articles, and hopefully you understand what runes are. But here is it in a very, very basic level. Runes is a fungible token standard for Bitcoin that was launched at the halving. The Runes protocol was developed by Ordinal's creator, Casey Rodarmor, and it offers a more efficient solution for etching or creating tokens on Bitcoin. Rodarmor's first big project was Ordinals, and it created NFT-like inscriptions on Bitcoin. And the miners really loved this because they were showered with a cumulative $250 million in revenue because of Ordinals. According to the Runes Explorer, over 7,000 Rune tokens have been minted so far, with Satoshi Nakamoto being the most held. Basically, Bitcoin is no longer a plain vanilla blockchain anymore, where nothing happens and hodlers just hodl. Ordinals, they allowed attaching pieces of data known as inscriptions to Satoshis, effectively allowing for a non-fungible token to be minted and traded on Bitcoin. Soon after, another developer, Domo, created a BRC-20, which allowed for fungible, tradable tokens. I hope you guys know what non-fungible and fungible are. Non-fungible means that there's no direct value. Fungible means that there's a direct correlation of transfer and trade value. So art is non-fungible. There's no one-to-one. You can't say, a piece of art is $10 and it's always $10 because there's no exchange rate. While a fungible means a $20 bill is 21s. It's fungible. We know $20 bill is 21s, or 520s is 100. That is fungible. Anyway, this Domo made BRC-20 a standard for creating fungible, tradable tokens. Runes is a more efficient method of creating new tokens atop Bitcoin. Casey Rodarmor said this: Runes were built for degens and meme coins, but the protocol is simple, efficient, and secure. It's a legitimate competitor to Taproot assets and RGB. The protocol is self-contained and has no dependencies on ordinals or inscriptions, making it extremely simple. Balances are stored in UTXOs, or unspent transaction outputs, which can be locked in HTLCs, or hashed time lock contracts, so runes can be lifted on the Lightning Network. Runes names are optional, and if an etching does not specify a name, a reserved name is allocated. Etchings of reserved names are unconditionally valid, and if they do not have a supply-capped mint, are very light and client-friendly. The Ordinals library provides everything needed to encode and decode runestones, so integration should be straightforward. He concludes by saying, I'm highly skeptical of serious tokens, but runes, without a doubt, is a serious token protocol. At BillBarX answered a couple questions. Why runes? What are the benefits? He says, Runes aims to simplify fungible token creation on the Bitcoin blockchain, minimizing on-chain footprint and improving UTXO management. It offers users a simpler way of creating fungible tokens on the Bitcoin network, relative to alternatives like BRC-20, RGB, and Taproot. With Runes, users can create multiple tokens and manage them easily on-chain without needing to rely on off-chain data or native tokens, or generating a significant amount of junk UTXOs. Runes launched on the Bitcoin block 840,000 at the Bitcoin halving on April 20th. Casey Rodarmor, he expands on this, and he describes the Rune protocol as a token standard that can address some of the shortcomings of a BRC-20. See, with BRC-20s, users can only transfer one type of token to one destination with one inscription. Runes, however, will allow users to fan out different tokens in a single transaction. Rodarmor says that Runes will offer greater simplicity and security to users that the current BRC-20 standard does. He said, in quote, to transfer a BRC-20 token takes 3 transactions due to the way inscriptions work. You need 2 inscriptions to create the inscriptions, and then 1 to transfer the resulting inscriptions to the recipient. Runes, by comparison, is a standalone protocol with no dependencies on ordinals. Creating a rune is done by a 2 inscription process. However, everything else only takes 1 inscription. So you're probably asking, why did Runes launch at halving or on the halving? Casey said that there's no technical reason that Runes needed to launch right at the halving. He said that was basically thematically cool, which I totally agree. Anyway, that is what runes are, and basically our whole podcast is answering emails today and telling you what runes are. But if you want to go a little deeper, DC Roth, link is in the show notes, has a great explainer about it. At the beginning, he said that it's simple. By halfway through it, I said, this is not simple. And so I was just watching it to kind of understand what runes are, and I was like, you know what? This dude is way on a different level deep than I am. I'm going to start reading articles. But if you want to go a little deeper, DC Roth, his link is in the show notes. And then please go down the rabbit hole. This sounds pretty cool. And finally, Andy wrote in and said, you mentioned months ago that the price of Bitcoin skyrockets, the market cap will be in trillions, and there will be a need for a huge wealth transfer for that to happen. I kind of think about this every day. What if there's no Bitcoin left available, and people would then just pay crazy prices for it? That's my thoughts today. Love the show. Andy, you're 100% right. That's the thing, is there's going to be a wealth transfer. People are going to be allocating their portfolios, or, asset managers will be allocating a little bit of portfolios, even if it's 1%, 2%, into Bitcoin. It's going to happen. Retirement portfolios are going to allocate into Bitcoin. It's going to happen. How fast? We don't know, but it will happen. Maybe nation states will allocate some of their treasuries to Bitcoin. It will happen. We don't know who's going to be first. We don't know when it's going to happen, but it will happen. And that is going to be a massive wealth transfer. And if every 4 years we're halving, and right now we're sitting at 3.125 Bitcoin per block reward, and then next time we're going down to 1.56, we're talking about we're going to need 1.56 Bitcoin to sustain the whole market, miners and the network. What price would that have to be to maintain the ecosystem as of right now? If you're only getting a Bitcoin and a half per block as a reward for petahashes, exahashes, whatever the hash rate's going to be at that time. Anyway, I still am one of those skeptical guys. We'll see if it goes up or down from here today and over the next year or into the future. I still think we're going to be down and to the right for the next couple weeks or a month. But again, I could be wrong, and I hope I'm wrong because I want number to go up. But throughout this process over the next years, and maybe a decade, we're going to see interesting things happen to the price, to the demand, to the supply, and the market trying to figure out where does all this go and where does Bitcoin fit in the global economy. I'm excited. Hope you are. Let's get into those crypto prices.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
And the time is 9:44 a.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time. Fear of greed is at 62. We are greedy, barely. Bitcoin is at $65,884, up 1.3% in 24. Again, it's higher than I thought it would be, but it's kind of just moving sideways. And the market is open. We'll see how the day rolls out. Ethereum's at $3,186, up 0.8% in 24. Tether's number 3, Binance is at $5.93, up 3%, and Solana is at $153, up 2.5%. Remember, it was at like $140 or $130 just a couple of days ago. Again, BTFD, there's opportunities out there, not financial advice. Running off the top 10, we have USDC, XRP, Dogecoin, Toncoin, and Cardano. The total market cap is at $2.43 trillion, a Bitcoin dominance of 53.6, and an ETH dominance of 15.8. And that was our show today. My name is Matt. I'll see you tomorrow. And until then,
Unhappy hodling. Everyone